Hello everyone, my name is Kieran. Welcome to the Manchester United versus Burnley live preview today. We're going to be obviously just previewing, going through all the predictions and things like that for the games. If you are new and do enjoy this kind of content, please do feel free to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new. But we will be doing the Burnley preview today, and I'll be giving you my lineup prediction and obviously score prediction as well, and just generally talking about Manchester United and also Burnley as well, looking at how they fared so far in their first 3 games of this Premier League season, and yeah, just generally talking about how the game is going to go. Obviously, you guys can leave your thoughts in the live chat and the comment section down below as well. If you've got any sort of thoughts and opinions on the game, welcome United lads. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already, please leave a like. That would be absolutely fantastic. You retweeted it. Well, thank you very much for sharing. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to share as well, follow me on Twitter and you can retweet my tweet. And basically on Twitter is where I post almost all the kind of when I go live and things like that. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, please do feel free to do so. The link, as always, in the description down below. But it was a huge game on Sunday, really, with the way things have gone and the way we started the Premier League season. This game has kind of become a must-win game for mostly Jose Mourinho, because the first 2 games he has put him under a lot of pressure. Obviously, we got the win just about against Leicester, but Brighton and Spurs, the performances were absolutely unacceptable, to be honest. So Jose Mourinho obviously being very fiery in his press conferences. This game against Burnley is a huge game for him, and we need to get the 3 points out of it. Welcome, Nicholas. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for coming back. He says, I don't think we're that bad yet. Well, it's an interesting point. Obviously, the way we played in the first 2 games aren't great, but I did think there were some positives to take from the Spurs game, even though the result wouldn't suggest it. Obviously, losing 3-0 at home to Spurs is never going to be good, and you're never going to get a good reaction from the fan base. But I thought that first half was actually some of the best football we've played in a long time. So if we were able to replicate that for more than just a half and keep that up for more than a half, I think we'll be just fine this season. And just a quick point on Mourinho, I am definitely, we've been it's not like we're 18, 19, 20 games into the season. We're only 3 games into the season. So I think we've got a lot of time still to turn it around. Welcome, Sickball. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are new. But I really appreciate you joining the stream, mate. He says 2-0 Burnley because you lot lost to Brighton, who are worse than Burnley. Yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair, the way the way we lost to Brighton was absolutely ridiculous. I think they drew their game 2-2, but I mean, it's ridiculous, really. I mean, the way we played in the first 2 games was absolutely shocking. So I think, predicting that Burnley are going to win this game isn't actually, far off. Maybe I still think we can win this game, because I do think that Jose Mourinho is going to turn it around. But I think predicting a Burnley win, putting a bet on a Burnley win wouldn't be too ridiculous at this point. Nicholas says, yes, the performances haven't been good, but guys are still recovering from a full season and World Cup campaign. Well, I mean, you could use that argument, but I guess you could also kind of counter that by saying these guys are professionals. They're used to these sort of things. And yes, obviously some of them have been in the World Cup. Obviously you've got Pogba, who got all the way to the final of the World Cup. So he's had a long summer and not really been able to recover and kick back during the summer, which some of the players have. So you could make the argument, but I think kind of 3 games into the season, maybe, I don't know. It's debatable. But Nicholas here says by Christmas we can make a better informed decision. My score prediction is 1-1. Fair enough. But I think obviously at the start of the season we said that we can only really judge this team by November, December, and I think you're totally right. I think that obviously, it's only the first 3 games of the season. After the Burnley game, we'll have an international break. So I think, we'll have a lot. We're going to have a lot of games to see what we're really about. And maybe the first few games were just a bit of a blip. But who knows? Hopefully we can turn it around. And I think we can turn it around. Thanks for the sub, Sick Ball. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys are also new, please feel free to leave a subscription. That would be absolutely fantastic. If you are new, welcome Matthew Jones. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. He says my score for the game is 2-0. So I guess a bit more positivity there from Matthew Jones. He also says everyone smash the like button on the stream. Well, thank you very much for the support. If you guys haven't already, please feel free to leave a like. That'd be absolutely fantastic, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, look, it's going to be a tough game. Burnley are a very decent side. Yes, they haven't started well this Premier League season. You know, they're on the same form as us. They won their first game and then they've lost their last two. So they've got to have the same start as us. They've lost two, but they've won one. So I mean, it's not great they're on the same form with Burnley, but that's beside the point. Obviously, they haven't started well, but you know they have a very, very decent squad. We struggled a bit against them both times we played them last season. Last time out in this fixture, we only managed a narrow 1-0 win. So you know it's going to be difficult, and it's always going to be difficult, and especially when we're in this sort of form, it's going to be really, really difficult to actually win this game. And I think if we do win this game, I think it'll help the team going forward, because I think it'll bring a sort of a new lease of renewed optimism and confidence in the players. And I was very encouraged by what the players sort of said and did on social media after the game. You know, they all kind of said, united now more than ever, and that's a great sign. It's obviously I feel like in the dressing room, the players know that the fans aren't happy, but they're grateful that the fans are still supporting them through the tough times, and I think they can sense that. And I think now the players, we need to have this siege mentality where, yes, the media, everyone is against us right now, everyone is criticising us right now, but we need to come together as a team and put in decent performances and prove people wrong. Nicholas says, Pogba, Lukaku, Lingard, Rashford have excuses for a dip in form, but guys like Sanchez don't. Yeah, it's a bit odd, Sanchez. Obviously, he's had pretty much the whole summer off, and so you would expect him to kind of come straight back into the team really fresh. And I thought when he played at striker in pre-season with Lukaku's absence, I thought Sanchez actually did very, very well up front, but obviously he now plays in a wide position, which I'm not really too sure is his best position, and his performances so far this season haven't been great. So, look, I don't know what's going to happen with Sanchez. I hope he can pick up his performance, because if we are going to get anywhere this season, players like Sanchez need to start delivering. Rasmus, welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. He says, oh, hi, I just came online, so good timing. Well, there you go. It's good that I've got you at a good time, and thanks for joining, Rasmus. Appreciate it, mate. Matthew Jones says, I thought Dalot looked really good in the under-23 match. Thoughts on that? Yeah, well, obviously it was good to see, Dalot getting his first run out in Manchester United colours. We haven't really seen him play. We only really got to see him play a bit for Porto, but it was good to see him play at Manchester United. And it was good to see Jose Mourinho was at the game as well. Obviously studying some of our youngsters, and obviously studying Dalot there as well. So it was good to see that, and hopefully we can see some more young players in the team very, very soon indeed. But I thought Dalot, the highlights I saw, I didn't actually watch the match, but the highlights I saw of Dalot, he looked decent. I was watching DLM stream, and I asked him the question. Thanks for joining, DLM, by the way. But I was watching DLM stream, and I asked him, I saw him answer the question about Dalot, and I totally agreed with him. I thought, you know what, his highlights weren't saying he was like a really promising player, but I thought he did decently, and I thought he looked the part. And I think yes, while maybe Fosu Mensah might be a better option than Dalot, I think what he's got, he looks decent. Looks a decent player. I'm not sure what you guys think about that as well. Welcome, Rashford Jawara. Welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. He says, hi, everyone. Hope you're all fine. Yeah, I'm great, mate. I'm great. I'm absolutely fantastic. And hopefully you guys are also good as well. Nicholas says, agree, Matthew. Excited to see what he can do for the first team. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Dalot can do in the first team. Obviously, we bought him for, what, around £16 million, something like that, £14 million. So we didn't really have to spend too much bringing him to Old Trafford. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got in his locker. Nicholas also says, thoughts on Martial's new contract? Well, I think it's a good thing, for the club. Obviously, Martial is such a highly rated talent. And you just tell he's got so much potential and talent that we need to unlock. And unfortunately, this season and for the kind of back end of last season, we weren't able to unlock the talent that Anthony Martial possesses. But with a different manager, possibly, that might be the kind of thoughts behind it. Maybe Martial is looking to outlast Jose Mourinho and thinks he'll get a better opportunity when another manager comes in. Who knows? But just making sure we secure such a really good young talent in Martial, I think it has to be positive. Welcome, DLM, by the way, onto the stream. If you haven't already, guys, as well, go and check out, United Lads and DLM75 and all the channels in the description down below as usual. Go check them out. I'd really recommend it. Also, if you haven't already, leave a like, that'd be absolutely fantastic, and subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new around here. Matthew Jones says, a must-win game. There are some people that are saying if we lose, Jose has to go. For me, I would back the manager until the end of the season. There'll be more positivity if we back Jose. Yeah, I think, for me, I agree that. I think, there's no point kind of, really hounding the manager out, because it just creates negativity. It means the players, if that sort of negativity with the manager, gets in with the players, it could completely ruin the atmosphere around the club and in the dressing room, and that can start to impact performances, So I think you have to back the manager, and we saw after the Spurs game there were still some fans about, clapping Jose Mourinho and singing his name with two or three minutes to go, which he probably was very, very surprised with, because usually, when we have results like that, Jose Mourinho is gonna. He's gonna think that the fans are gonna be right on his back, and he'll be playing to empty stadiums. But I think the Manchester United fan base, we're not as fickle as others, and we give managers time to kind of actually implement their stuff. Yes, obviously it's season 3 for Jose Mourinho, but I think the Man United fans recognise what he's done for us, and recognise that he has been a decent manager so far for us. He got us the 2nd place last season, which was actually a decent achievement, considering all the strength of the teams in the Premier League. So I think the United fans do kind of recognise that, and I think obviously we're better than clubs like Chelsea or Real Madrid, where they start completely booing their team after 2 bad results. But you bet your bottom dollar that Man United fans will be there, home and away, selling out the grounds, chanting the players and Jose Mourinho's name until the very end, and it's great to see. Welcome to Price HD, welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining, really appreciate it. Matthew Jones here said, yes, Sanchez is not playing like he did a couple of years ago. Yeah, maybe it's just because he's not playing for Arsenal anymore, but Alexis Sanchez hasn't really shown the form that we were expecting when we signed him, which is really disappointing, because what is he on, 500k a week or something, which, to be honest with you, he's not warranting at the moment whatsoever. So he needs to step up the pace if he is going to help us to glory this season, which isn't looking likely at the moment. But I do think we still have time to turn it around. DLM says, have you watched Alex Neil's video about Jose? Yeah, I saw that video. It's really nice to see, Jose Mourinho at the game, coming over to fans as well and meeting Alex and everyone that. I mean, Alex is a pretty famous face. I saw him on the United stand as well. So he's a pretty famous face around Old Trafford. So it's great to see Jose Mourinho going over there having a bit of a chat. Nicholas says, interesting, Matthew. I'd say till December, but Jose has a ready-made excuse that he didn't get what he wanted. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Obviously, you can argue whether he's properly backed or not in the transfer window. For me, I don't think he was really backed to what he wanted, and I guess that's the excuse he's always going to use, isn't it? So yeah. Rashford here says, I don't think Jose will be here next season if we don't win the league. I agree with you, mate. I mean, possibly if we get kind of 2nd or 3rd, but I do think after the 3rd season, kind of 3rd, 4th place isn't really good enough, especially when we finished 2nd last season. But we'll see. Obviously, Ed Woodward and the Glazers seem to not mind as long as you get Champions League football, because to them it's basically all about the financial aspect. So I do think if he gets in the top 4, I don't think he'll be sacked. But I mean, unless obviously he has a massive fallout with the powers that be at Manchester United, we might see something different. But I think you could be right. DLM says, of course, man, you have to back in. I'm just not confident anymore. I totally get where you're coming from, man. I totally get where you're coming from. I think, obviously, the way we played in the last 2 games, why would you be confident, And going into the Burnley game, I think a lot of United fans are very, very kind of worried and tentative. And I have to agree. I think it's you can't really predict a really confident win anymore for Manchester United, because you don't know what you're going to get. And hopefully we see a confident win tomorrow afternoon. But you can't guarantee that anymore. You used to be able to, but you can't now. Welcome, Joe Willett. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it, mate. Thanks for coming. Please do leave a like if you haven't already. That'd be absolutely superb. But yeah, thanks for coming, Joe. Matthew Jones says, hello to everyone that has joined. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. This channel is top class, presenting every single stream, and is always honest with us opinions of others. Yeah, well, I really appreciate the support, Matthew. Really, really do appreciate it. And thank you so much. And you guys, as I said, tuning into these streams. These streams would not be anything without you guys. So thank you so much for joining the streams. I really appreciate it. But as Matthew Jones said that as well, obviously on the United stand and on DLM75, you get top class presenting as well. So it's not just me, top class presenting throughout the community, and all the channels I would recommend are in the description down below, and I'd really appreciate if you went and checked them out, because there's some absolutely corkers of channels down there. Rashford says we have to be confident in every game, every player, and everywhere, home and away. Well, yeah, I think the players need to keep their heads held high, even in kind of times of jeopardy and bad times. I think the players, you know, they need to be confident, because we've seen the likes of what's happened to Lukaku and Martial. When their confidence had dipped, they just don't play as well. So players with high confidence you know, tend to play well, and I think you know, those players will still be confident they can turn it around, and will know they've got the capability to turn it around. So we just have to see the results now. Rasmus says no attacking player has flourished under Jose. Sanchez is not the only one. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Obviously, you know, you've got Anthony Martial as well, who obviously hasn't really had a good time under Jose Mourinho. And you've got, I mean, Lukaku did quite well, to be fair. Sanchez hasn't done brilliantly. Rashford, you could argue, possibly declined as well. So, I mean, there are a handful of players who haven't really done that well. Pogba as well is another one, which is an interesting case. Joe says his prediction for the game is a 1-1 draw from a Borough fan. Fair enough. Obviously, part of Daryl Johnson's clan over there. And if you want to go subscribe to Daz's football stand as well, of course, his link is in the description down below. But yeah, decent prediction. Obviously, you already had a 1-1 as well from someone. I think it was, in fact, I'll scroll up on here. Somebody already said 1-1, I think. Nicholas said 1-1. That's who said 1-1, Nicholas. 1 second. I'm just going to change the chat a bit. Right, there we go. We're going to do that. Sorry, guys. I was just meddling with the chat a bit there. But anyway. Welcome, Yash, by the way. Welcome to stream, Yash. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. He says, do you take Zidane and top 4 this season? It's a very interesting one. Obviously, that means, Jose Mourinho is going to have to be sacked and Zidane going to come in. I mean, if Jose Mourinho wasn't going to guarantee his top 4, then I think I probably would. I just do not want to play on Thursday nights. I just don't want to go back to that, guys. Honestly, it was absolute torture. It really was. It was great to win the Europa League, but the games in between were just awful. And, you know, a club like Manchester United, the size of our club, we should be playing in the Champions League like we are this season. I'll tell you what, the draw we've got, obviously Ronaldo coming back to Old Trafford with Juventus, it's going to be difficult for us, but we have to make a statement in the Champions League. But I'm very, very happy I'm going to be covering the Champions League rather than the Europa League. By the way, I just want to say, welcome Exchange Gaming Plays. He goes with 2-2. And also, welcome to Man United Max. Welcome to stream. Thanks for joining. If you want to go check out Max's channel, his link is in the description down below. Matthew Jones says, Joe Willett, go check out United Live if you haven't already. He also says, got to go, great stream, and thanks for all the love and support. Road to 400 subs, exactly. I mean, obviously United lads are already on 390 subs, so they're getting closer and closer as well. So it's great to see our community growing and all that sort of stuff. And it's down to you guys, so thank you so much for liking and supporting all the channels in the community. But yeah, Exchange Gaming Plays goes with 2-2. Interesting. Obviously, I think that's the 3rd draw prediction we've had. So a lot of people in the stream tonight, or this afternoon rather, going with a draw. So very interesting indeed. Joe says, yes, it was Dazzler that showed me the channel ages ago. Decent. Well, very good from Dazzler. If you guys want to check out Daryl Johnson, Dazzler's football stand, sorry, his link in the description down below. Rashford says, Martial should not start until and unless he says something about his future at Manchester United. Well, yeah, man, obviously, you know, we've talked about Pogba, you know, everyone wanting Pogba to clear up his future at Manchester United. Obviously, now he cannot leave United until January, if he is going to leave, because the transfer window across Europe is now closed. So he cannot leave Manchester United this season until January, which is great because Pogba on his day can be a fantastic asset. He just needs to be more consistent, but I think he can be a fantastic asset. But obviously Martial as well, I think he'll be staying at Manchester United. But you never know. If he does sign this new contract, which it looks like he is going to sign, I think we are going to be able to keep Martial, even if Jose Mourinho does leave this summer. Rashford says, Martial, oh yeah, I've already read that. Sorry, mate. Brother Game says, welcome to the stream, Brother Game. Thanks for joining. He says, look, you look familiar. Did you score for Charlton today? I didn't score for Charlton today. No, I didn't. But thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. Yash says, I have a feeling we'll win everything back to normal 2-0. Well, I tell you what, you put my mind at ease, Yash, and hopefully that does come true, because if we do win going into the international break, our situation will not be as dire as once seemed after the Spurs game. But I've got a bit off topic. I'm going to go now into my lineup prediction. You guys right now, get your lineup predictions in the live chat. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. Who do you think will be starting for Manchester United against Burnley tomorrow afternoon? So I'm going to go with my starting lineup. I think we're going to play a 4-3-3. I think it's going to be David De Gea in goal, Valencia at right back. Now, the centre-back partnership is the one that is going to be very, very difficult to call. But I think Eric Bailly is going to come back into the team. And I think Chris Smalling as well is going to keep his place. So I'm going to go with Eric Bailly and Chris Smalling. Welcome, Kashif. Welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. But yeah, so I've gone with De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Smalling. I'm going to go with Luke Shaw at left-back. And Luke Shaw has done absolutely fantastically. Obviously, we'll get to see him more play for England in the international break because he has been called up. So well done to Luke. 3 in midfield, I'm going to go with Pogba, Fred and Matic. And then 3 up front, I'm going to go with Sanchez, Lukaku and Lingard. So that is my predicted lineup. De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Smalling, Shaw, Pogba, Fred, Matic, Sanchez, Lukaku, Lingard. That is my predicted lineup. You guys let me know what your predicted lineups are in the live chat right now. And if you are watching this as a video, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Rashford here says, when Pogba wants to stay, he should have stated on social media and said something clear. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Obviously, the fact that he doesn't come out and say, obviously, we had the controversy with what his agent was saying and things like that. The fact that he didn't come out and say anything like that, it wasn't great, but obviously, you know, it does seem like he is going to stay at Manchester United for the foreseeable future, but we don't know until January, do we? He also says, my prediction is 3-0, to be honest, because Jose will play more than anything, because it's a match that he has to win. Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I think obviously it's such a big match for Jose Mourinho. He has to win this for his sake because he's had a lot of pressure on him. He still has a lot of pressure on his job, so he knows he has to win this game. So I think I agree. I do think we're going to pick up the win in this game. I will give you my score prediction in just a second. But as I said, you guys leave your thoughts on the lineup, your lineup predictions in the live chat right now. I want to see what you guys are predicting for the lineup and what you guys think is going to be the centre-back partnership for Manchester United on Sunday. Obviously, all 4 centre-backs, you could argue, haven't really got high confidence due to, you know, obviously making mistakes and Jose Mourinho, you know, tossing them in and out of the lineup. So, you know, obviously our centre-backs don't particularly have great confidence at the moment. So who do you think Jose Mourinho is going to turn to in the centre-back roles? Leave your thoughts. A few of you guys in comments. Welcome, Roberto Beswick. Welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Welcome, PJ7. Welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already, go and check out his channel in the link in the description down below. Fantastic edits and things like that, compilations. Go and check him out. Link in the description down below. Rasmus says, my choice would be very similar to yours, only Pereira in for Matic and Lindelof for Smalling in your lineup. Interesting. Very, very interesting. You know, I think Lindelof, when he came on against Spurs, he was kind of thrown into the deep end like he was last season against Huddersfield. And I thought, you know, the comments that Jamie Carragher made about him, you know, not being able to play at this level, I'm not sure if that's really warranted, because I thought he did have a decent season last season. But unfortunately, I think, you know, 2-0 down against Spurs, to throw on Lindelof was a bit cruel. So, yeah. But yeah, I think, you know, obviously Lindelof in for Smalling. Well, you know, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised, Rasmus. Roberto says his prediction for the game is 3-1 to United. Obviously not a clean sheet there, but I would totally take 3-1. I just want 3 points out of that game, just so we can go into the international break resting a bit easier about the situation. Rashford says De Gea, Bailly, Smalling, Valencia, Shaw, Pogba, Fred, Matic, Sanchez, Rashford and Lukaku. Interesting lineup there. Obviously, the only difference is, to my lineup, is obviously Rashford instead of Lingard. So, great minds think alike there. But I know, I think obviously there is going to be a debate between Rashford and Lingard. I think under Jose Mourinho, they've kind of both taken a similar role. So, I think, yeah, it depends. Obviously, Rashford and Lingard, I pick Lingard. I just think Lingard just has a bigger effect, and can play a bit. It's got that. Can play on the wing, but also can play as a kind of number 10. So we can do a few different roles within the game. Yashir says De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Smalling, Shaw, Matic, Fred, Sanchez, Pogba, Rashford, and Lukaku. I would play a 4-2-1-2-1. Very interesting there. Very interesting formation from Yash. So yeah, I mean, again, your lineup predictions, guys. I tell you, they're like, I mean, really, with the amount of changes we made for the Spurs game, 6 changes for the Spurs game. I mean, anyone's guess is as good as anyone's at this point. So yeah, Rinalmi MUFC, welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate you coming onto the stream once again. He says, "What's up? Sorry for being late." No, don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it. I am going live a bit earlier than I usually do. I just want to kind of go live a bit earlier, just so everyone's got more time to see the preview before the game, if you know what I mean. Rashford says, "Come on, Newcastle, beat City today." Yeah, I totally agree. We need Newcastle to get a result against Man City, and away from home against Man City, if they do get a result, that'll be absolutely huge for them. Yash here says, "Where is Marcus Rojo?" I don't know. I think he might still be injured, although I think he is slowly coming back into contention. And I think it'll be interesting to see what happens to the centre-backs when Rojo is thrown back into the mix. That then will have, 4 fit centre-backs because Jones is now out with an injury. So yeah, Rasmus says, "That was my choice, not what Jose would pick." Yeah, exactly. Who knows what Jose will pick? Only Jose Mourinho knows who he's going to pick, to be honest. And it's very, very difficult to predict. Manchester United Fans TV, welcome as always to the stream. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys haven't already, please leave a like. That'd be absolutely fantastic. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, now I think it's a good time more than any to get into the prediction. So all of you guys, even if you've written your prediction before, put your prediction in the live chat right now for what is going to happen in the game. What is your score predictions? I want them all right now. Even if you put them in the live chat before, if you're still watching, put your score predictions in the live chat right now, and I want to read them all out in order. So, there we go. Obviously, get all your score predictions right now in the live chat. My score prediction, I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Manchester United. I agree with I forgot who said 3-1, but I agree with whoever said 3-1 to Manchester United. I think Jose Mourinho will want a huge reaction to what happened against Spurs, and I think he will get the reaction. I think the players, the way they came out and said United now more than ever, and kind of the way I think they are looking for a response, and I think they want to show the fans and show all the doubters that they can play. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Manchester United. I think Lukaku will get on the score sheet. And I think Lingard will also get on the score sheet. And, I think Pogba, I'm going to go with Lukaku, Lingard and Pogba to score the goals for Manchester United. 3-1 to Manchester United. That is my score prediction. Hopefully it does come true. And I think, just for me anyway, I would take 3 points all day long. So any way we can get the 3 points is just what we want, and hopefully we can go into the international break with 3 points under our belt. 6 points out of a possible 12 isn't as bad as 3 points out of a possible 12. So that is my score prediction. Yash there goes with 2-0. Man United TV goes with 6-1. I tell you, if we beat 6-1, that'll send out a big statement to all the teams. And I'd love that. I'd absolutely love it if we won 6-1. Yash says Jose won't play Pereira. Matic will start, but he doesn't look fit yet after the World Cup. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think Matic is really, we haven't seen the form of Nemanja Matic that we saw in last season for Manchester United, because he was such an important player for us last season, and we haven't really seen that. Obviously against Spurs with his first proper game back, so I don't think you can really blame him too much. But there you go. Hopefully against Burnley, he can have a bigger and better part to play. United lads there goes with 3-0 to Manchester United. But you know what, guys? I'm going to end it here. I think we have talked everything about Manchester United and the Burnley game. It's a big one. It's a huge, huge game. We need to get 3 points out of it. Rasmus says Burnley 1, United 4 tell you what, a bit of a confident prediction there, but I like these confident predictions. I really do like them. Yash says Lukaku and Sanchez 2-0. I'd say, again, that would be decent. Lukaku and Sanchez getting the goal. Sanchez, I would love to see him get off the mark for the season. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. If you haven't already, please do leave a like. They'd be absolutely fantastic. Subscribe to my channel and all the channels in the links in the description down below if you are new. Leave a like as well. This is such a huge game, guys. It is such a huge game for us. We need the 3 points to go into the international break a bit better off than we were. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Kieran from Red Devil Weekly. Hopefully we can get the 3 points tomorrow. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new. And thank you very much for the support, guys. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.